Thank you for joining me here today at On the Fence. I'm kind of excited and a little nervous because I'm going to be hitting a touchy subject today, and I hope you'll stay with me for just a couple of minutes while we go down this journey. We're going to discuss the arguments of pro-choice versus pro-life and pro-vaccination versus anti-vaccination. But we're not going to talk about the arguments of both of these. We're going to talk about the hypocrisy that people use when arguing these subjects. It will only take a couple of minutes, and I bet you look at the world a little differently after I explain it. Probably wondering, is he going to explain and argue pro-choice versus pro-life and pro-vaccination versus anti-vaccination? No, absolutely not. Those are hugely complex subjects, and everybody has a different point of view. Some people it's scientific, some people it's religious. There's absolutely no way for me to get into that and make it end in a couple of minutes. What we're talking about today is very simply the hypocrisy that goes on with people who argue these subjects altogether. I'll get right to it, but give me a second to at least explain the four different arguments and how they stand. So obviously we all may know these arguments, but I want to cover them real quick. Pro-choice is simply the fact that people should have the right to choose what they do with their body. If you want to have an abortion, have an abortion. That's pro-choice. Pro-life is that people believe that once a baby is conceived, it no longer has the ability to protect itself, but is considered a living being, and therefore should be protected even if the mother who's carrying it doesn't want to. So it's really kind of a tricky subject. Then of course you have the vaccination argument. Pro-vaccine is a safety thing. Everybody should get vaccinated because by vaccinating everybody, it creates a herd immunity. When you have people who are vaccinated from a disease, it makes it so the disease is less likely to get into our society and transfer to people who otherwise can't get the vaccinations. Anti-vaccination is the thought that vaccinations are unsafe because they might have chemicals or other things inside of them that can cause negative health implications, even things such as bad as like Down syndrome and things like that. I'm not getting into the individual arguments, that's something for a later video. But the ideas kind of collide. Most people who you meet will argue on one side of the fence or the other. It's pretty simple. Most people who are pro-choice are also pro-vaccination, and most people who are pro-life are also going to be anti-vaccination. Don't get me wrong, there are exceptions to every rule, but the majority of people tend to kind of fall on one side of the fence or the other. There's a big problem with that. A lot of the people who are sitting on this one side of the fence are actually being gigantic hypocrites. And here's why. Let's start with the pro-choice argument. The pro-choice argument is very simple. You have the right to determine what your body can and can't have happen to it. Period and simple. Your baby, your body, your choice. Pro-choice. But these same people believe very strongly that to protect themselves and other people around them, everybody should be vaccinated. There's a huge issue with this. Scientifically speaking, doesn't matter. Your argument for the fact that you're pro-choice is that everybody has the right to make that decision for their body. So most people who are pro-choice, you would think, would actually be anti-vaccination, because individual choice to take vaccinations goes hand in hand with pro-choice. Same thing with pro-life. You think being pro-life, you would be more inclined to be pro-vaccination. Because being pro-vaccination means that to protect yourself, everybody must be mandated to do a certain action or ability that'll help protect not only you, but other people around you. So this is why the argument starts conflicting. A lot of people are going to argue yes or no with this, but let's be clear and simple. Pro-life and anti-vaccinations are not as hypocritical as pro-choice and pro-vaccinations. You're pro-choice because you want to make the decision with your body to do what you want, regardless of what other people think. Pro-vaccination means that you think everybody, including your children and your friends' children, should be vaccinated regardless of what your friends may think to protect your children and you from harm. Okay? So I just want people to open their eyes a little bit. I just want people to not be such hypocrites about it. If you want to be pro-choice, be pro-choice. But don't get mad at anti-vaxxers. If anything, you and anti-vaxxers should be on the same team. You're both fighting for your body's rights. And if you're pro-life, don't be so pissed at the pro-vaccine people. Because let's be honest, you're both fighting for the right to protect yourselves and others that can't protect themselves. It seems like everybody seems to be on this side of the fence or this one. Nobody seems to be thinking, hey, maybe I'm being a hypocrite. Thanks for watching our video here at On the Fence. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up or share it on Facebook. We'd like to get out there and have more people see our videos. If you want to subscribe, definitely. You'll get to see all the new stuff as it comes out. Tell me that's not a little exciting. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Have a good day.